Hey guys, KingBall06 here, back with another video. In this video, I'll be doing a speed paint of Lady Nagant at the beach. In this video, I'll go over the fact that I missed Deku's original hero costume and my overall thoughts on Season 6 of My Hero Academia since the dub has recently just ended. Let's talk about Deku's original hero costume back in Season 1, the one that his mom made for him. Man, I honestly miss it, bro. To me, it looks better than the upgraded version that the design company gave Midori after his was wrecked. I will say that the version of the costume we see when Midori becomes like the dark hero, the way it looks then is probably the most swagged out look, and it's the reason why a few weeks ago I made those Deku sketches, because prior to then, the last time I drew Deku was in 2021 and I did a redraw from Season 2 Episode 20, the I'm Deku redraw. So if you want to go all the way back there, that's where it is. And speaking of, I might update my playlist so I have like different stuff for different series. For example, I'll have My Hero Academia drawings in the playlist, I'll have Dragon Ball drawings, One Piece, Luffy specifically, and so on. If you guys would like to see those specifically, if I ever do so, I'll announce it in the future video. But let's get back to talking about the hero costume. So it wasn't very durable, but it still had swag and it had sentimental value because his mom went out of her way to either knit whatever to create the costume for him that he designed in his book, since he's been dreaming to be a hero since before he even knew he was quirkless. So just all of the love and care put into that, and then for him to go out and truly become more of a hero in his combat training versus Bakugo in that first exercise that they did, where him and Uraraka went up against Bakugo and Ida, it just has so much value to it. There wasn't very much to the outfit, it was simplistic, but it just had that charm. And you can see with like the mouth gear, which represents All Might's smile, and then the stuff sticking out of the head, which represents all the two hair strands that stick out of All Might's hair when he's in his muscle form. Man, it was just so great. So maybe in the future, Deku's costume will get another redesign / upgrade, and I'd love to see it. When it comes to Season 6 of My Hero Academia, there's a lot to go over, so I'm going to be saving future videos to talk about specific details within the series. I'm just going to go over my overall thoughts. So, in my opinion, by far this is the best season of the show. Not to say that the other 5 seasons are bad, this is just way better. We learn a lot more about some of the heroes, some of the villains, the Paranormal Liberation Front, and so on through these 25 episodes. Just a few examples: we learn about Spinner's motivations, Twice's motivations. We learn about Denki's potential feelings for Jiro through one of these episodes. And there are a couple major things I think I should go over. So the first thing is Deku versus Class 1A. This was a 1-episode thing. This was previewed in episode 22. Episode 23 is when the actual fight happens. We kind of see how much Deku has impacted the lives of those in his class through a bunch of flashbacks. Some characters he's never interacted with on screen, like Koda, for example. They've never talked, so there's no flashback for them. But for Shoji, the one who uses duplo arms, there was a flashback back in Season 3 when Deku and him were helping out both Tokuyami and Bakugo, and they formed a team, and Deku said, with this kind of team, we can even take on All Might. They flash back to that very specific thing, which in context makes a lot of sense since Deku's trying to go up against All For One, because this battle between One For All and All For One is destined, as he says, and as All Might has talked about. He kind of foreshadowed in Season 2 that Deku was going to have to go up against this evil someday. And All Might thought that he took out Ultron once and for all back in Season 3, but that obviously didn't happen because Shigaraki exists, so... This really showcases both the development of Izuku Midoriya, the main character, and the development of everyone else in Class 1A, and how they have journeyed to become better heroes, especially Uraraka, who in the next episode pleads to the refugees at UA to let Deku in because he's a kid, and just because he has some special power doesn't mean he should be regarded as some enemy. Like, some of the civilians there were saying he was a Nomu just because he had multiple quirks, but Deku's never intentionally caused harm to any civilians, and he's gone out of his way to save people. One example in this very specific season is he led Shigaraki completely away from the evacuees back in Jakku City because he knew Shigaraki was specifically going after him, so he just dipped and went into the fight, despite the fact that the Hero Corps students weren't supposed to be involved whatsoever. So let's just looking at that. The mood of the series completely changed. There's more drama, there's an established gray area within this hero society, which I believe I talked about in my Nagant video, or not in the Nagant video, the My Hero Academia sketches. I believe I talked about this in some previous video, but there's also an introduction of new characters, and they've been great. Nagant is my favorite of the characters who were introduced in this specific season. Her story adds more to the overall story, and her introduction is the primary reason why I can understand the gray area within Hero Society, the fact that not all heroes are good and not all villains are bad, because in the previous 5 seasons, it was black and white. Heroes are good, villains are bad, there is nothing more to it, but there's more complexity to the series because of characters like her, characters like Hawks, and some of the other villains and heroes, and characters like Dabi, aka Toya Todoroki. And in the next season, we're going to see some foreign heroes, one called Star and Stripe, who implied that All Might is her master, which means All Might has been to other countries. So he's been to the United States because she's the #1 hero of the United States specifically. And other countries are obviously getting involved because the Japan heroes alone aren't handling Shigaraki. A lot of them are retired after the battle, like Power Loader is a primary one that retired, and I think one of the top 10 heroes retired. I don't remember who specifically, but they retired too. So honestly, I can't wait to see these foreign heroes in Season 7, and Season 6 has motivated me to do more My Hero Academia art. You guys will see some sketches in a future video, but just looking back at some of the stuff I did last week, and looking back at this drawing specifically, this is a Nagant drawing. Next week, actually no, not next week, the week after next week is going to be another Nagant drawing. A few weeks ago I did sketches of Deku, Mandalay, and Lady Nagant, and I'm sure I will draw more My Hero Academia stuff. If Season 7 comes up this year at all, I'm probably going to do even more My Hero Academia art. Like, I have no clue. It's been a while, honestly. At the time I'm recording this, it's been a while since I've actually drawn any character outside of My Hero Academia. With exception to any original characters I've created, because I've created a few original characters, and on Wednesday there's going to be a sketching video that comes out in which I showcase 4 of these characters, and in the coming weeks you'll see the reference sheets for each of these characters, and you'll see a couple speed paints because I've done 2 full-on drawings for a couple of these characters. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but just know I'm excited for Season 7. There's a lot to go over with Season 6 specifically. I think in future videos, maybe more so ones that are focused on My Hero Academia, I'm going to be discussing different aspects of Season 6 that I think I want to give my opinion on. So, be looking forward to that. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe turn on notifications, check out my Twitter and Discord, both are in the description. If you want to know what I'm currently doing or thinking about, those two places are the best places to go. I will see you guys next time.